Marie, tell us your name and the career that you have chosen to pursue.
My name is Marie Denis-Luque. I was born and raised in Haiti. As a Haitian born, we are programmed with who come to the States. We are programmed to study certain fields, medicine, engineering, nursing, etc. But I chose to study public health, and I have two masters in public health, epidemiology, and community and family health. Now, as a mature or non-traditional student, I've been studying public administration. I'm working on my doctorate in public administration.
And are you planning to go back to Haiti to do all of that, or are you staying in the States?
Well, I have a nonprofit for children living with HIV in Haiti. That's why sent me back to school to really learning how to do it right. I've seen many others, or I've read many papers, or I've seen how nonprofit is done in Haiti, or how NGOs, the work is done in Haiti. And as a small nonprofit that operates in a budget of, I would say right now, maybe $200,000, I see what we're doing with the little bit of money that we have. To me, others can learn from what we do. So that was one of the reasons why I went back to school. And I'm almost done now. By next year around this time, I should be graduating because I'm collecting data right now for my dissertation with learning from organizations similar like mine that are doing it differently rather than the big guys with the beaucoup dollars. So yeah, going back physically, I would love that. Right now, the situation is not good for us to go back. A lot of us that are abroad, but I go back once a year or twice a year as best as I can to oversee what we do in Haiti. Yes.
Now, but you're still pursuing the education, as you said, but you're already acting as head of a nonprofit. So, what kind of background did you have to be able to do that successfully or
Well,
experiences?
hmm. For me, it started with just passion. I met a child who needed my help. I somehow something in me automatically put me in her position. So what would I want someone to do if I were in that position, or if my child was in that position? Because when I met her, I was in graduate school at the time, uh, the first time. So I learned what I needed as I went along. I'm a believer. I believe that God sent certain people around me to help me walk this journey. So, yeah, a lot of those skills are not skills that you're taught in school. I mean, I studied epidemiology. Yeah, how to control or help stop the spread of disease. I know how to do that a good way. Uh, but I don't know what that taught me to do the work that I'm doing in show aids. So yeah, I picked up a lot of what I needed as I went along the way.
Right, because in your job, it's not just the end service that you're providing, but you're working with people and you're writing checks and you have to meet a budget and doing all of those things that you probably didn't have experience doing. So you went right into the frying pan. You just
Yeah,
learned it as you went. Are you very
yeah,
fast at learning, maybe?
yeah, absolutely. The position really, well, let me go back. Show aids, I would say, is my volunteer job.
Okay.
Though I am the founder and executive director, I do not draw a salary from it, but it does take a lot of my time, and I had to learn a lot of skills to move it forward, and brought a lot others alongside me to with skills that I needed, skill that I lacked really, to help move it forward. My day job, or my other day job, I'm a program director at Florida State at the College of Medicine at a center called Center for Translational Behavioral Science. I do a lot in terms of research, I'm a researcher, and also I do a lot of project directing, and I see myself and some of the stuff that I learned in show aids um, come back or really benefit the position that I'm in right now, what I'm in right now, that I've been in for the past almost 3 years. So yeah. Mhm.
That's really a great way to learn and apply it in your nonprofit. But now let's talk about your job at the university. How do you prepare for a job like that? Was that purely educational, or did you have to have outside the university experience, or mostly at the university? How does that
Yeah,
work?
yeah, it is a lot of research experience. When I graduated in 2005, my career started at the university, USF, University of South Florida. I was a researcher there, and I kept getting researcher positions everywhere I went. But I did teach. I've actually taught several times. All these skills really benefit the job that I'm doing now. I am mentoring students. My supervisor, wonderful human being. Excuse me. Thank you. So my supervisor was a wonderful supervisor, one of the best I've had, or if not the best. Um, we're mentoring students from another local university in town and our university. So we work with both undergraduate students and graduate students. And the work that we do, we end up inspiring students to choose research. And research is not really fun for, at the very start, because it's a lot of independent work, a lot of thinking alone, and also, when do I bring in other people? So we're teaching them all those skills, and some of them get discouraged, but yeah, we teach them that, yeah, there's a step that you have to go in this corner and think by yourself and gather it. It's like, oh yeah, this, let me see if this goes, and if it doesn't, let's consult this colleague and work with these other people to see how we can make it work. Or if it doesn't work, we abandon it for now, or we put it in the parking lot for now and move the project forward with the direction that's moving it forward right now. So yeah, we work with students in so many ways.
So if you wanted to do a research job like that, for example, do you kind of get stuck at one university, or does your experience at, say, South Florida apply to another university if you would like to shift within academia? Does that apply well, or do you get sort of stuck at your university?
Oh no, 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 no. You really, I mean, for me, my skills are very diverse. I worked in maternal and child health, done HIV work. Um, there's a common thread in everything that I do. If there's a position somewhere at some university that appeals to me, I appeal to that thread if it matches the job description, etc. So you're not very stuck. It's very much what you want to do, and how, whether or not, actually, with me, if oftentimes it goes back with passion. I don't like putting my time. I mean, it brings a paycheck, but I don't like doing things that don't excite me. I'm sorry, that's
Yes,
just not
right.
enough.
No, no, I think that's true. We tend to excel in things we like doing, right?
Yeah, like the job I'm doing right now at the university, I could do it for free because I'm
Right.
happy about it. I'm excited about it. So that's what I mean. Like, yeah, the common threads in my CV. If you look at my CV, oh yeah, she's this, that. How, if it, like, for instance, the person who hired me, my boss, she sought after me. Actually, the past three supervisors I've had, no, the past two, the current one as well. So that's total three people. They came after me. Somebody forwarded my CV. I'm like, oh, would you like to come for me? And it was like, let me see. What are you working on? You know what I'm. So yeah, and let it be driven by passion. That's just been the thing for me. I think, and you can see that in my
So,
volunteer work as well.
exactly. And I think if you find something that you're very passionate about, um, can you encourage some young people about starting their own nonprofit? They identify a problem, they have a deep commitment to that, to a solution to that problem. Can you just talk about that a little bit? I know it's very consuming emotionally, but tell us some of the benefits and difficulties with starting a nonprofit.
It is very rewarding. And for me, it starts and end at the human being whose life I'm going to impact. Just that's how I am. It's a weakness, but doing something like that, like for instance, when I started, I was back. It was back. I was looking for. I met the little girl that the first child was a little girl that I met who was in dire need of someone to be there for her. Somehow I was driven to put myself in her position. Like, what would I want someone to do if it were me or if it were my child, etc. And somehow I ended up doing something, not just that benefited her, she ended up passing away, but there's so many others like her, right? To see a difference you can make in someone's life, I never saw it myself. Like, I was a poor student, like literally don't have that much money, depending on grants and loans or whatever, what could I possibly do? I'm like, I'm not Oprah. Oprah, if I were Oprah, I could just do so much. It doesn't require that. You don't have to be Oprah. You know, there are people who will identify with the vision, their mission, who would walk alongside you. And it's like, and you you end up changing them too. It's not just for that one cause. It's the others that are walking with you as well. So giving yourself, moving forward with that nonprofit, with the idea to start this nonprofit, you know, expands your network and also, brings about change in people. Who knows who else they're going to inspire? So, yeah, I strongly encourage. There are difficulties. There are long nights of like, oh my gosh, like, what am I going to do this here? But trust that it will work out. That's just, I'm not telling you anything that I have not experienced. Yeah, there are times I'm like, okay, seriously, God, I know it's not about me. Come on, show me, give me a sign. Give me a sign. Like,
Well, Marie, I'm sure there might be young people watching this that would be very inspired by your story and want to reach out through our website to get some guidance or encouragement, even in their walk toward their dream job. Would you be willing to communicate with them?
most definitely. Yeah, I love the opportunity to do that. I've had students from at least 5 or 6 states who I've never met in person, that I've mentored long distance. So yeah, sure. Most
Wow,
definitely.
fantastic. Well, thank you for taking your time to talk today, but thank you for the impact you're having in Haiti. It's pretty cool.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to share.
Thanks, Marie. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.